Hey folks, Toadster back. I am in Combat Skorpion G again today, and I want to talk to you about this game and this map a little bit, okay? First off, we're in a tier 10 game, and we are a lightly armored tank destroyer. So, there's three locations of synergy on this map. Right here, well, sort of. Really, the best two are between here and this city area here, right? But if you can get over to here, if you can win this side and get over to here, you could get shots on the heavies as well. So, likewise, getting into the middle can be good, but I've not ever really been able to make it work. But some people can. So, because there's synergy, and also because there is a lot of cover on this side, it can make sense to watch this side and have your team, if they're able to, get shots across. Okay, so and that's what's going to happen this game. But let's go ahead and get the game started, and we'll talk a little bit. Now, you never want to cross this middle open ground right off the bat, and in a tier 10 game especially, right? So we've got a WZ132 on our team, and he lights everything up. This Bulldog, the two Skodas, and we take a kind of a poor shot against the M41. I probably should have chosen a slower target to start. And the Skoda is just in the wide open. These two Skodas are platooned, and they just get worked, right? And so right off the bat, we're going to gain an advantage because those are very dangerous tanks. So their light tank is down to a one shot for almost everything, and both Skodas are out, and we lost a Skorpion G for it. So we're actually doing pretty well, right? And soon we see our Patton has pushed aggressively into the ditch, which I don't necessarily agree with. And we're taking a blind shot because I thought I might know where that light tank was. But at any rate, the M48 Patton cleans him up, and we've got two guys in the ditch now. Now, the problem with going in the ditch, even if you're in a tier 10, if you get rushed, if we have no idea what's over here, so there could be 5 guys over here, right? In addition to that, there's a Unicum platoon of FV215B183s, aka Death Stars. So without knowing where those guys are at, it is a risk to go that direction. So I'm deciding, these guys are in the ditch. Someone needs to watch their back, right? So that's what I'm deciding to do. And I'm going to show you the bush that I do it from. And I come up into it fairly gingerly because I'm a little afraid. I mean, there's some scary tanks on the enemy team, right? So, meanwhile, our Patriot, our tier 8 Patriot, just goes absolutely ham. Don't do this, you guys. It's not worth it. So we're just setting up in a position where we can get shots. And at this point, sitting behind the bush is actually smart because I've got a lot in the middle. And so they are going to spot stuff if it comes out. So I don't need to expose myself or anything. Check out this Patriot. So unfortunately, we missed the Death Star. But he gets spotted, and when guys get spotted in tier 10 games, it is game over, right? So we're just playing our slow game, and this Patton, I don't know, I think he just doesn't realize how aggressive he's being. It's one thing to spot stuff, but when you pop up multiple times in the same exact location in a tier 10 game, you are going to get punished, right? And I don't know if it happens right here or not, but so we're looking for a shot. We're able to get that shot, and we back off just in case we're lit, but we're not. So the nice thing about this position is these guys back up on this hill, cannot hit you as our M48 goes down. So it's currently 5-5, and the only thing I've got on this side is a light tank, right? And he is going to go down rather quickly. And it's a bad position for him now because he has no support. So you notice what I'm doing. I'm turning around because I want to be able to make a getaway if I need to. And we're going to let our binos come up, and we're just going to sit here for a while. We are basically creating vision on this side of the map, and that's about all we want to do. We have no desire to push forward, no desire to try and get in a position to keep people lit. We just want to create vision for our team, because if you notice, we're the only ones here. Now, one thing that I've noticed is Artie is right here. And although I hate Artie, you know, players are selfish. So they are going to support whatever they can support. And as we hit a nice tracking shot and we pull back immediately. But they are going to support whoever it is defending them. I mean, for obvious reasons, unless they're complete idiots, which, you know, some Artie players are, or some players are. And we move out of the way just in time not to get Artied. And we're going to move back into that position. Because I feel like it's that important that we hold this position and hold map control on this side. So seeing what happened to that Centurion 5-1, guys are a little less likely to push, although good players are going to push anyway, right? Because they know that they need to win. And this Death Star, I don't know what he thinks he's doing, but apparently he's in the wide open pretty much, or he was. Now he's behind a building. So we're just using these bushes, right? And I'm repositioning a little bit in case he goes to the very outside here. If he goes to this very outside over here, I want to be covered. So I'm not going to spot him right now because I'm behind two bushes, right? But as soon as I pull up enough to spot him, then I just back off. I'm not going to do anything else. So the Death Star has moved, and we do get some assist damage there on the Progetto. That Progetto 65 has an autoloader, and he is extremely dangerous, right? And at this point, I decide that I need to light some people up. So we're going to move back a little bit, and I think this is the point at which I decide that. So we've got this area, we've got this area, and we're really light over here. But look how many guys I've got helping me. I guess I don't push back. I haven't watched this. I played it last night, so. And I just decided I thought it was a good tactics talk, and we're just blind firing, hoping to get a hit. And you notice I ping the map because I want my team to know, and I also want my Artie to know what's happening. It's a little bit of a brown trousers moment coming up here. There's a Death Star right there. And we are unable to pin him. So what I don't want to do is give him a shot, right? Because I am a one shot for him all day long. No matter what ammo he's got loaded, he is going to one-shot me. So I want to keep buildings between him and myself, until, especially until we're unlit. I know that I was not lit before, so we're just going to pull back and see if we can get a light on him. And the Progetto hits me, and now suddenly we're a one-shot, right? But keep in mind, look at this Skorpion G. If he would have just pulled in and killed me, he'd have been fine. But he's perma-spotted right now, and there's really nothing he can do. So we take out the Death Star, and the Scorpion hears me fire, but he's too late. You know, he just pushes in way too late. So we're just playing Ring Around the Rosie because I know one of their arties has fired, and I do not want to lose this position. I want to keep this guy spotted. I want him to be uncomfortable, and I want to be able to tuck up against the building to avoid arty. And as soon as he dies, we move a little bit forward because I know there's not much left on the enemy team, right? And the GW gets spotted. I don't know who spots him. Obviously, it wasn't me. And that's pretty much the game. We got 2,000 damage and 2,500 assist. But the situation deemed that we stay there and we play defense there. So the reason that I sat in the position that I did is because it was arty safe right there. Right here is fairly arty safe. I'm a long ways from arty, and also they have to come around, and there's several. As we finish this guy off, let's go ahead and pause it. I had guys right here so they can shoot across in between all of these gaps, right? So the further back I sit, the better, because I can pull out and maybe get a spot on something like that. If the Death Star has horrible aim time, and he's not going to waste a shot, because if he does, I'll pull out and kill him, right? So in that case, I knew that I was fairly safe in that position, and normally I would never ever do that in a lightly armored tier 8 tank destroyer in a tier 10 game. But this map, you have got to have somebody over here or you lose the game. And the fact that I was able just to sit in this position and keep these guys lit for my teammates that were over here, it basically won us the game, in my opinion. If we had given that area up, then the enemy now has the advantage to get shots into my guys. And when you're talking about Death Stars and things like that, Death Stars and Progetto 65s, they are super dangerous. The Death Star can just damage somebody no matter what, and the Progetto 65 has extreme ability to punish people for mistakes. So let's go ahead and look at the after action report on this. It's not all that exciting, but we'll take a look at it. Okay, here we are at the end plates, and we got a first class out of that game, 1,300 experience, and we were top of the team there with 1192 base XP, 2,300 damage, and more importantly, we held that side and held map control. Now, we fired 13 shots, hit 9, penned 6, which is not uncommon in a tier 10 game. I wasn't using gold rounds, and but the big number is basically 3,000 assists. So the other part of that is that we made a fair amount of credits on that game because we were spotting for our team, and that adds to your credits. So we ended up with 1,300 total experience, and that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that explains a little bit why you would want to stay in a position. There are certain positions on certain maps that are really strong to hold, especially if you control another portion of the map, and it's worth doing. Generally, they're areas that have a lot of cover and a lot of bush cover. So we will catch you guys on the next one. Toaster out.